and all, so we've got a tiny little addition to the search tool. And I think we won't make any more changes to it because there's a lot of information on here. But what we have as like an ultimate layer of the cake, like an icing on the cake, like the cherries, I suppose you could say, we've got the daily open and the weekly open. So that's really useful. It tells us a technical bias for the currency pair. And so we can see how we are currently above the daily open by quite a lot. And we're very far above the weekly open. And so obviously we've got a bullish bias for this particular currency pair, technically speaking. Does it agree with the sentiment? Yeah. So look at the distance from the monthly pivot. That's just absolutely bonkers. So very quick glance, quick glimpse at the currency pair that you might be interested in trading. We are looking at the Aussie Kiwi. And so what you could do potentially, if you wanted to go for a short, you could wait for the weekly open to breach, wait for an hourly candle below, and then that could be your stop loss. Okay, so sentimentally pretty good for a short. You could potentially, if you wanted to, if you had the patience, which you should have as traders, you should look for a short below the weekly open, because we've got the daily open's got a strong bearish bias, but ideally we'd want the weekly open to confirm the daily, then it will confirm the sentiment as well. So that's how you can use it. You'd look for a short below that level and have a stop, around that level, about 10 pips or so, and then we'd have the technical criteria to confirm the sell, we'd have the sentimental criteria to confirm the sell, and then you'd enter. And what you could do is potentially move your stop just ahead of entry in case you get a reversal. But if we have a price below the weekly open, from a purely technical perspective, it's a sell. Okay, so that's what we were looking at because of the bubbles. And Aussie Kiwi, so that could be a decent setup there, but you want to wait for the weekly open. So I think it's a great new addition, and it should really help everyone really, because it gives us really important, powerful levels to work with. And you can see how you just go to anything really. So the pound USD has got a bullish bias because we're above the weekly open, just 120.70, 120.76. So we are hanging on on the weekly open. So it could be quite a bullish, but you see how mixed we are in the sentiment. So you'd want to be looking at something a little bit less choppy and more like blocks of colour. We've obviously got a lot of indecision on the sentiment here. And this is your technical metrics, this is your sentiment. So perhaps avoid something that's, we've got mixed colours, and do something where we haven't got the mixed colours. Maybe like Aussie Kiwi could be better, EURAUD, so that could be better. See how you've got a block of colours, for example. We're above the daily open, we've got the weekly open, and then so you look for longs, and that's that. So hopefully it helps. And also you've got your targets as well, you've got your break-evens as well, knowing that these guys shouldn't profit. If we do go into profit, then we should see a reversal because they're not allowed to profit. So that's how you can use it. Hopefully it's quite a good little addition. I'll be using it for trade entries, especially Aussie Kiwi, I think. And just to let you know, I'm going to be away this afternoon because I'm going to be doing some house hunting. So you can just use that. You've got a confirmation, quite bullish, and we've got the weekly open and daily open. So just a nice little addition there. Hopefully it helps, and any feedback would be great. And I'll speak to you guys soon.